All right, welcome to Managing Agency Workspaces for the Rank Monster platform. We're excited. We're going to talk to you as an agency, of course. You act as a central hub for multiple clients within the Rank Monster platform. You can manage their workspaces, demo the software to prospects, and invite your team members, white labeling the platform. We're going to just talk about today about managing the workspaces. And so first thing we want to go and do is talk about the customer workspace. So when you're in here, you can actually go to your actual customers. If you already have the agency account, you are your first customer, or your first customer that you signed up as an agency could be that as well. So you would just click on the actual customer workspace. This customer workspace is a fully functional, isolated environment for a single client. Okay, when you switch a customer workspace, when you switch to a customer workspace, the dashboard, calendar, content, and settings apply only to that specific client domain. So basically meaning if you transfer one from a pitch workspace to a customer workspace, it's its own entity now, right? Under its own as a customer. If you want to replace a customer, if you onboard a customer by mistake, or they immediately churned, or you could click replace. This will instantly and permanently delete all the current customer's data and reset the workspace. All right. So if you're going to an actual customer workspace, you would go to manage agency. Okay. And then you could come in here and you could replace that customer here. Okay. So this is where you would click this button and then work on replacing the customer. Okay. So if you had to replace a customer, you're able to do that within the settings section inside of the agency portion. Okay. So this is because you have two sections, just so we're clear. You have the manage agency, which is the agency to manage the full agency profile. And then within this customer workspace, right now you're on this customer. Inside here, you also could go to settings and you could, manage the specific customer workspace here, but not replacing it as a customer with the agency. Okay. And so this is a little bit about obviously making sure you go to manage agency. If you need to replace the customer, it's done in the agency portion, okay, of the actual page. So the second thing we're going to discuss is the pitch workspaces. Well, actually, let's go through adding a customer. So ideally, let's say you have you have this person as a customer here. Let's say this is a pitch workspace, excuse me. Let's say you have a pitch workspace. You click on the pitch. You want to convert this person as a customer, you could click this, and then you could work on converting this person to an actual customer profile, okay? And so what does it unlocks the calendar, content, Reddit feature, the 6 engines for live tracking, a better reporting system, everything. Cancel it or replace this customer at any time with the same feature that we were just discussing if you need to replace this customer, okay? So we're gonna press not now. Excellent. So you could also update, adding a customer. You could also just add a customer live. You could just click here and start from scratch as well. And you could go through the actual full portion here when you want to add any kind of customer you need. Okay. Excellent. So let's talk about the pitch workspaces. All right. So this is one of my favorite, is because this is how you generate revenue. My favorite activity to do. Okay. Number 2 here, pitch workspaces. So this is where your prospecting comes into play, and you use these to generate more revenue. So Rank Monster provides agencies with 10 free pitch workspaces. So here inside the platform, you have new pitch workspaces. You could add 10. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could always delete. We're on a pitch workspace now. You could actually always just delete one if that person's not ending up. If they're not ending up going to become a buyer, you've done a pitch with them. So you could develop a lot of pitch workspaces and generate revenue with this model. All right. And so ideally, Rank Monster, like I said, provides 10 pitch workspaces. They're designed to help you close deals by demonstrating the platform's value to prospective clients before paying for an actual customer workspace, right? So the first thing you want to do is create a pitch. So if you're in here, you're going to go into click to new pitch workspace, right? And then from here, you generate an isolated environment for your prospect. You can run analysis, generate test content for their domain. Every pitch workspace only does one content piece because it's just testing the platform out, okay? You could also, secondly, once you create a pitch workspace, you go through the onboarding process, prospect name, it will develop their brand profile. So let's kind of go through one right now. Let's just do Phil. Okay, it will read the site. It will develop a brand profile. Okay, when you're developing a pitch workspace. Description, business, brand identity, products and services. You can delete or add any that you don't like, whether it's a local business, if it's there specifically, they could service the state. Maybe they could only service the city. Maybe it's just their neighborhood, right? Or country or continent or a global, okay? And even if you click continent, it will ask you what continent that you want to choose, okay? So obviously for this, we'll pick global. Audience distribution, it does it for you. Known competitors, right? And then you suggest topics. These are the topics that will basically help you. It will write the searches for you. So if these are some of the good topics, or you could just unclick one and add another. And then this is gonna, now understand, a pitch workspace only does a small prompt searchability to get a visibility taste of what the product can do so they could see it and understand it, okay? And so once, let's say we approve of these, then we click generate searches. It will go and generate searches, and then it will develop the pitch workspace. The next phase is actually creating the pitch workspace. So lead generation, it wrote 2 prompts. Sales funnel optimization service, 2 prompts. So it basically writes 2 prompts for each, okay? And then once you click create pitch, it'll actually create the pitch workspace and of course start you on your path to creating the pitch workspace. For time purposes on here, I'm just going to go to a pitch workspace that's already done. So it'll develop a space like this. It will show the visibility score, all the things that you know on a regular customer profile. It will give you a light visibility score on those searches, on the light searches that it did the audit. And then of course, one of my favorite portions is this piece right here, export prospect PDF, okay? So ideally this is a report you can export, beautifully formatted PDF report for your prospects' AI visibility and gap analysis, okay? And so if you configure your white label settings, this PDF will feature your agency's logo and custom footer and coloring that you've done on the actual white label, all right? Converting it to a customer, I share with you. You just convert them to a customer. Once you have a pitch workspace, I share with you how to do that. And then you could delete the pitch, which I already shared with you, okay? Now, the pitch workspace report is really cool. And so it will go through a quick executive summary as far as what it did, okay, on the audit. Then it's going to have a visibility scorecard that was on the searches, all right? It will have a competitor intelligence if you added it in there. And then prompt by prompt visibility. So it goes through each search prompt. It will tell you whether you're visible on which AI engine or not, okay? This one was not. And then, oh, look, you're being mentioned here. It'll give you a quick, short answer, maybe, right? Should I choose this company? It said, oh, maybe, and you understand what AI is saying about your brand, right? And then not mentioned, not mentioned, not mentioned. And so when you're talking to a client, you have this report to be able to understand where their gap is, because you're the agency that supports them on the gap analysis, right? Then it develops a score out of 100. So where it failed on their site, whether it was meta description failed, recommended action, open graph tag failed, recommended action, add title or description, schema.org structure failed, and then it tells them what actually passed on their site for a generative engine optimization strategy, all right? And then out of here, it'll talk about the cited sources that are actually citing those content, the actual content pieces now. And then from here, then it'll give you a content citability roadmap. This is a roadmap of the content that your agency is going to work on producing for them to help them get cited by AI, okay? Answer first article, what is a full service digital creative, right? And then this is becomes the citable goal is actually to become the client, the cited answer for the specific prompt, right? And then why it matters, AI engines answer, and it gives you a whole detail that you could go through on an actual pitch with a prospect and or your current existing customer base, right? It will show a quick content preview as well, right? What a full service digital creative agency actually does. And then it develops a 90-day action plan so you can work on pitching them on how you're going to help them fix the foundation of their GEO, start writing articles, how much content they're going to be producing per day, build a third-party authority, refresh and expand cited for the company, optimize, right? There's all these little details it will actually produce. And so you have an actual PDF report as well. So you could also click this and develop a report as well from here. If you want to actually do a live report, an actual live, report with like what's cited, the citations that were on those searches. It's just, and then actually your content engine site. So this is some content that is already posted on that site that was actually getting cited. Okay. Excellent. So that's the pitch workspace, guys, right? And so team management is the third thing we're going to go into, right? And you can invite your colleagues. So let's go into settings, back into manage agency. All right. And then you're here with team. Okay. You come to team. And then of course, like I shared, this is where you're going to add members, admins. You can invite your colleagues to help manage your client workloads under the team tab here. Members can switch between customer workspaces, view dashboards, write content, and execute tasks. Admins have all the permissions of a member, plus the ability to add and remove customer workspaces, manage pitch workspaces, change white label branding. So an admin, whenever you make them an admin or a member, when you invite them, understand which one is which when you're actually inviting them to the platform. So you do that here in the team section, member section, send the invitation. Okay. So just to recap, members can switch between customer workspaces. They can view dashboards, write content, and execute tasks. An admin will have permissions of a member, plus the ability to add or remove customers, develop, manage pitch workspaces, and change white label branding, and invite other team members. Okay. So only the owner who originally created the agency account can actually access the billing portal or delete the agency. So understand this, the only person who can access billing is the main owner account. Okay. And so let's talk about billing, and we'll end with that. Okay. The actual billing here is you go to the billing tab. Admins can quickly view, break down the current plan costs right here, and you could click to manage in Stripe inside the Stripe portal. So if you want to manage it, you just click here to manage your billing in the Stripe portal. Okay, and so this is something that you obviously can do on your own and work at that. And this is the quick overview, guys, of understanding how to manage agency workspaces. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.